Welcome to episode 21 of I Wanna Hate It, a comedy podcast where we unfairly prejudge a movie, then watch it, then find out how right or wrong we were. My name is Alex, and I'm joined by my co-host for today,
Brandon.
For new listeners, this podcast is divided into 3 sections: pre-watch, post-watch, and fun and games. In the pre-watch section, we present you with basic info and answer the question, do we want to hate it? Next, we conduct a post-watch breakdown, give our final judgments, and then have a little bit of fun with some trivia, goofs, and hypothetical battles between characters. We're recording in Brandon's home on the 27th of August with audio equipment.
Good audio equipment. Can you hear the difference?
Can you hear, folks? 32-bit float, the Zoom F3 mic, and XM8500s. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Section 1, pre-watch, basic info. So this episode's subject is 2024's Alien Romulus, rated R.
Hard R.
Hard R. 2024. Made 1 hour, 59 minutes.
Probably 0 seconds.
Probably, exactly on the spot. The director is Fede Alvarez. Writers are Fede Alvarez, Rodo Sayaguez, Dan O'Bannon.
Daniel O'Bannon. I like Dan O'Bannon.
Dan O'Bannon.
Dan O'Bannon.
And stars Kaylee Spaney, David Johnson, with 2 S's, and Archie Renault.
David the Rock Johnson. It's
David the Stone.
John the Stone Cena.
Rock Hard Johnson.
Rock Hard Cold Cock.
That's a tough
Damn,
act to
dude.
do. Plot summary.
Tough wrestler. Okay.
While scavenging the deep ends of a derelict space station, a group of young space colonists come face to face with the most terrifying life form in existence. I mean, in the universe. And as far as I can tell, because I couldn't really find it, the tagline is from the director of Evil Dead and Don't Breathe.
Oh, okay.
It's the only thing I could find on posters.
Have we seen this?
We have not seen it.
There's no way we could have. Well, maybe.
It just came
like
out
a week ago.
Yeah.
Who picked it? Also,
I think I picked it because I'm just a total nerd fan for Alien franchise, even though they haven't had a good one since 1986.
Oh, true. I was hoping you were going to say franchise, and I was going to throw out the So You Love Mac and Me, right?
But
An Enemy Mine, you like that movie too?
Arden, do you like Enemy Mine?
Do you like Arden Mine? Enemy Mine? Arden?
Arden Me Mine.
Arden Me Mine, boyo.
Oh, did it make her lose money? Well, it just came out, so
sure
we don't really know.
It's gaining money as we speak.
Yeah, I think
they had a huge release. They had life-size xenomorph statues all over the AMC theaters, and also, I don't know if we'll see it today. I doubt it, but we're going to AMC Theater in Fleming Island, Florida. Come murder us there if you want, but you can't hear this before it's released, so good luck. But basically,
dogs.
They had paid actors literally laying on the floors of AMC theaters with facehuggers props on them, and they weren't moving at all. And like people were just walking around like, "Oh my god!"
I like to hope it's Kaylee Spaney, the main actor of the movie, doing that.
Who knows? I mean, just like Johnny Depp doing Jack Sparrow at Disney.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you seen that?
No.
He did like special guests. He'll actually be Jack Sparrow at Disney,
sick.
and then like, they have to like double takes. Like, oh my god, he pretends to be a statue.
He's actually wasted.
Probably. He's getting paid Disney money, of course.
Disney money, dude.
Yeah.
Donald
Bucks.
Donald Bucks.
Okay.
Scrooge McBucks.
So we haven't seen this before.
Budget.
And we're excited. The budget is
$80 million estimated. Opening weekend U.S. and Canada, $42 million. And gross worldwide, somehow already $225 million.
So they've surpassed their budget.
Yeah,
they're making money now. They're in the green.
They're making green. IMDb rating is 7.4 out of 10 with 68K reviews. The Rotten Tomatoes is 80% critic, 86 audience. Metacritic is 64 critic, which is pretty low, and 81 audience. Awards and nominations, most anticipated movie Astro Awards.
I take the critic reviews with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the movie. Sometimes one is like lopsided.
Right, that's true. I mean, at least they have sound.
No, I mean, I agree with you. Sometimes the critics are wrong.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Okay, next segment, reviews. So there's some positive critic reviews. Nicolas Delgadillo, not from Nutfest, he says demonstrates that the 45-year-old franchise still has plenty of life left when given to the right director.
That still blows my mind. We watched Alien, 1979 last night. Let that sink in. 1979.
That's
so how many years again?
45.
45.
Yeah.
45 years old, folks.
It's 45. It's 45. It works every time. Oh, 45.
Billy D. Williams. 45.
Rotten Tomatoes says, the story is rich and suspense is powerful as can be. There's so much quality, action, and surprises, all while showing another powerful story within the Alien universe.
Ooh.
The lead character is impressive.
What can they do?
They can act, boy.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
Wow, that lead character really follows their lines.
The last movie I watched was Morbius, and this is a big change of pace. Negative critic reviews.
Oh.
May Lights from Nick Spheres. Romulus was generally giving me what I wanted to see, and then it came over and slapped me. Very disappointing. So I don't know how
That's a very vague review.
Yeah.
It was giving me what I wanted, but then it slapped me.
It slapped me. It literally walked over. Maybe some guy just slapped him and he thought it was the movie.
Yeah.
Oh. Audience reviews. So these are just headlines from IMDb audience reviews. High budget alien fan film. 7 out of 10.
It's not a review. It's just a comment.
Yeah. Well, that's what this is. They're just
get
the headlines of the review. I didn't put the whole review.
Okay, that's fair. Another one is the Rogue One of the Alien franchise by Brad Daviel, which is 8 out of 10.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what that means either.
I don't remember if Rogue One was good or not. I think I watched it.
It's a mixed audience. I
that's
didn't
probably
care for his
what he meant.
Yeah. An Alien Greatest Hits album sung by a cover band. 6 out of 10.
Huh.
By Andy Elliott.
Does that mean is he directly referring to music, or is it a...
Well, the other review said a high-budget alien fan film.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's a fear, is that it doesn't feel like an authentic alien movie. It feels
another Aliens versus Predator.
Right.
2,
yeah.
whatever. Yeah. Requiem.
Want to read this last one?
I do, because patience will be rewarded, says CRJ. He also said the third act makes the trip worthwhile.
9 out of 10. Okay.
The third act. Is he sitting there and sectioning the film in his head?
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's the end of the first act.
All right, that was the inciting incident. Okay. Now we're nearing the climax here.
What? That could go so many different ways.
Oh, he's got no pants on.
I was just imagining, though, if it was normal theater, but the curtains close and everybody goes to intermission. But this movie, Romulus...
We can watch a teaser.
We can. We should.
All right. This is
a super no spoiler trailer because we're literally watching this in an hour and a half.
Yeah.
In the theaters.
So we are rushing to the theaters, folks.
We're rushing this on out. We're slam crank this episode.
Speedball it.
Speedball. 21 Speedball.
This is a IGN official IMAX teaser trailer. It's 30 seconds. Okay, let's go.
Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Are you sure you want to do this?
This is our only ticket out of here. Should be in and out in 30 minutes.
On August 16th.
This place gives me the creeps.
Spaceship. Facehugger. Fear.
It's bigger.
It's bigger.
200.
Lots of facehuggers.
Yeah.
Guy gets stabbed in the face with the tail. That's a spoiler.
That's probably the end of the movie.
Around the spaceship crashing into something. Okay. Well, we got a little bit ruined for us.
You know, we like aliens. Yeah,
yeah.
A little bit to go.
I thought a 30-second trailer, they wouldn't put that much spoilers in. But
so that was pretty good. Had a lot of alien action, a lot of face huggers.
Looks like a lot of face huggers. There's like
Alex
5.
said there's,
they're chasing a dude.
There's like a Compsognathus pack of them.
Can they scream? They can probably scream.
They make screech noises, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
All right. So prejudgment. Brandon, do you want to hate it? Do you want to love it? Or is it cheesy?
I want to love it.
Yeah, I want to love it too.
I'm loving it.
I want to love it. As well as that, what do you give it out of 5 stars?
So far, 4.5. Because I'm really hoping.
I think I give it 4 as well.
And there's never been an alien movie other than Covenant, which I really wasn't like... this is pretty good. You know, I can make good out of this franchise.
I'm more harsh than you with the aliens because it's too close to me. I like it too much. I think anything that ruins the mythology or dilutes it or explains too much Therefore, I hate Prometheus and Covenant.
Yeah, Covenant's doo-doo too.
Yeah, I don't even like Alien 3. I like Alien 4 because it's bonkers.
Aliens 4 is bonkers.
Yeah.
It's almost a fever dream. We watched it so many times growing up.
I could watch that again.
That'd be good.
But, okay, how about out of 100 somethings?
100 acid blood drops.
How many?
90.
90. Good.
90.
That's a lot of
lot
dropping
of
acid.
Yeah.
And I will give it 70 face huggers chasing me in my nightmares.
That can't be good.
I better be fast.
Yeah.
Skittering all over the place. Okay.
Yeah, sliding around. They have their own roller skates on. They all have Heelys on their, on their fingers.
That's at least an advantage to me because they can't go good. It's slippery.
Slippery face huggers.
Yeah.
That's sick, actually.
That one gets on me, but it can't grip me good because the Heelys, so it slips right off.
I just imagine one, though, with actual high heels.
They all have different shoes on.
Yeah, they're actual people.
One has Nickelodeon jump boots, moon boots. What are those called? Moon shoes?
Moon shoes.
Yeah, one's got moon shoes. Brandon's got dogs. He's got like 6 toys that he's grabbed from them.
We're trying to do this podcast in the living room today as a different thing, and my dog, like you said, has been bringing me toys for the past however long we've been doing this, and this is the 4th one now.
He's telling us something. He's telling us.
And the last one, he kept running away with it. He wouldn't let me get it. Now he's looking for another one. All right, so I'm excited.
I'm excited.
What do you give the?
I said 70
face huggers.
Face huggers each with different shoes.
What was the first one though?
You gave it
4 out of 5 face huggers.
Yeah, 4 out of 5.
Okay, cool. I gave it blood drops.
Yeah, blood drops. That's a drop.
Yeah,
we're gonna drop some acid right now and watch Alien Romulus.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait. Red blood, blue crib. What's green? MS-13. The yellow's Latin Kings. I was just thinking what gang the aliens would be in.
Oh, the gang.
The green.
The green, yeah.
Yeah. Green gang.
They're Islamic. Gangrene. Yeah.
Because they'll melt your skin like gangrene.
Yeah.
Xeno dubstep.
Xenostep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's watch it.
All right, let's watch Romulus.
Let's watch Romulus.
Let's watch Romulus. Romulus, 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 Romulus,
Romulus, Romulus.
That's my dog still. Okay, we're watching. We're driving.
Aliens. And we're back. We just watched Alien Romulus on movie theater, and now it's time to give our post-watch analysis with the next segment, The Breakdown. The aesthetics of this movie are perfect, right, Brandon?
Right, Alex. And I fucking love them.
It's good. It's good. So the year is 2142. First thing we see is scientists retrieving the original alien from the original movie Alien. And so after they retrieve the alien, then we jump to a Weylandy tiny like hell mining world.
It looks like enemy mine planet.
It does, yeah. Everything's orange and sucks.
Yeah.
And
they're all getting black lung.
So actually, that ties into the first character we meet, which is Rain and her brother Andy. Andy is a black dude. Rain is a white girl. So, you're like, something must have happened here. They might be orphans or something. So they go to the Weyland-Yutani office of the planet, the corporation that owns the planet. And she's like, we served our time. We did like 10,000 hours of service. So we're good to go, right?
No, you gotta work 6 more years. Sorry. Well, not sorry, but thank you for working.
For the company. Yeah, so she moves the goalpost. She's like, we need your services some longer. So at this point, they're disappointed. They're like, man, we'll never get off this dang planet.
They're kicking rocks down the street.
Oh,
darn it, Andy. We're never going to get off this rock.
Exactly, yeah. Shucks.
What are we going to do?
And like you said, her parents died of black lung. They even have miners with canaries. So...
they did. Which honestly, if you had no idea what that even means, you'd have no idea what that means. The canaries. Those are actually parakeets.
Were they?
They look like parakeets.
Well, I think it's the whole point is if the bird dies, there's like too much methane or whatever.
You can put a mouse in there or something. Doesn't matter.
So Andy, he's like this kind-hearted dude. He stutters and stuff. And she comes out to find a bunch of kids beating up on him. And you're like, why is everybody being so mean to this guy? And something's dripping on him. It's cum blood, dude.
Cum blood. Semen sweat.
So he's got the white tapioca blood, which tells you that he's an android.
Yeah, and he's unfazed by the beating, obviously, because he can't feel pain.
Yeah, because all he cares about is he's programmed by her dad to always do what's best for Rain. And so that's all he cares about is her happiness. And he's also programmed with dad jokes to keep her happy and stuff.
It's his prime directive.
Make corny jokes.
Yeah.
So right now, they're disappointed because Weyland-Yutani's never going to let him off the planet, and her parents died here, and so she doesn't want to die here. So she goes to a group of youngsters, some early 20s probably.
She knows all of them, but one of them in particular, I don't remember which one it was.
Yeah, so we don't remember any of the names except for Andy and Rain, and later on Rook.
The jerk. But even him, I don't remember now.
So there's these other group of kids. There's Tyler, Bjorn,
that's
Navarro, and Michelle Rodriguez.
Right, okay.
As Brandon calls her.
That's who it is.
I think her name's Kay. This group of people, they're like, well, since we can't get off the planet legally, let's get off
illegally. Do it illegally.
Yeah. And so the whole plot of the movie is basically they want to get off-world, and to do that, they need to get cryostasis pods. And I think the reason they need cryo pods is because ships don't have enough resources on them to sustain human life. And you said it's something like 9 years?
It's 9 years trip, but then it's 9 years trip.
The plan is there is an orbiting space station called the Renaissance, which has two halves, Romulus and Remus, and this Weyland-Yutani science station with a decaying orbit. And in 36 hours, it'll fall into the rings of this planet. So it's got Saturn-like rings. It'll explode. They're like, this space station's got operational cryo chambers.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. So they're going to get these cryo chambers. They're going to get off the planet, and they're like, Rain, we need your help. And she's like, why do you need my help? I have no viable skills.
Actually, you're right. We really need your brother to get us in there.
You can go home.
She's really hesitant, but then...
Well, because she doesn't want them to abuse Andy.
Come on. We're never going to get off this rock. I promise it'll be 30 minutes. We're going to do it, and we're going to leave.
Yep. She's just promising her the world. Like, come on. It'll be easy. Yeah. So eventually she agrees.
All the kids are doing it.
All the kids are doing it. Us. Yeah. So they fly. And we were wondering why they're allowed to just fly over to the space station.
Yeah.
And I guess what they say is, if we don't get there, somebody else will get there first. So I'm guessing this highly valuable research station, Weyland-Yutani, is planning to get to it, but they just got there first.
Right. The only reason you mention that is because when they took off, at least I thought they would have security or patrol or something.
You would think.
Stopping them. But it's just a measly ship. They don't really care.
Well, the thing is, Weyland-Yutani is obsessed with the xenomorphs to a stupid degree, and it's weird that they wouldn't keep track of the station.
Honestly, yeah. Especially because we'll find out later.
Yeah.
Yummy.
So they get to the ship.
Flying towards the ship. They link onto the airlock.
And Andy, he can basic access most doors. He sticks his finger in a slot, so he fingers a door, and it lets him in.
Finger lock.
And at this point, they kind of split up. There's a few dudes. There's the two dudes and Andy, and the rest of the girls are back on the shuttle. One of the dudes, Bjorn, has a headband, and he's a complete dick to Andy.
For no reason.
Yeah.
Well, no, he hates androids.
Michelle Rodriguez explains to Rain that Bjorn's parents were in a mine, and there were 3 people stuck in a mine. And an android made the call to close the mine, kill him. So it killed his mom to save a dozen other miners. And that's a little bit of foreshadowing, folks, that androids might be able to make hard decisions that are, not emotional. Sacrifice the few to save the many.
Not feel anything. Call yourself a robot? Having feelings, huh?
Huh? Wuss?
You feeling shit?
Yeah. So they are going to get the cryopods. They find the cryopods. The cryopods don't have enough cryo juice to get everybody to this other planet.
Something would be like only 3 hours worth of time, but they need 9 years.
Or 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah. So not enough for everybody.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, well, easy. We just go to this other higher security part of the ship. We pull out some cryo juice, and then we have enough juice. So they go to this part of the ship, and along the way they see a cut-in-half android. And at first Bjorn's like, oh, shoot. Oh, it was just
one of those things.
Just a stupid android, not a real person.
No brains, no emotion, totally worthless.
Worthless piece of junk. And he farts on it.
He farts on Andy.
He farts on it. He gets in Andy's face, and he's like, yeah, that's right. I said you aren't a real person. Robot. Stupid.
He steps aside, farts standing up, and then, like, wafts the fart cloud into his face, even though he can't smell it.
I fart in your general direction.
Yeah.
Not his own, but Andy's.
And Andy's like...
A little bit in his own, too, sure.
Yeah. His own brand.
His own brand.
Let's have a smell, all right? Ooh, wafting. Oh, everyone likes their own brand, don't they? This is magic. All right, analysis. Oh, it smells like carrots and throw up. Oh, that could gag a maggot. I smell like hot, sick ass and a dead carcass. Oh, even Steak would say that stinks. You know when you go to an apartment building and you smell other people's cooking on each floor and you're going, what are they cooking? That plus crap.
So he's being really rude and mean to Andy, even though they need Andy to get into parts of the ship. So
which is dumb.
They find the cryo area, and I think what happens is the ship's off right now, the whole station, and as soon as they start pulling out the cryo tubes, it like activates something, and everything in the ship starts turning on, including gravity. What's it called?
Generators, I think.
It's like purging the gravity system.
Well, before all this, there was a moment of the system's purging where the gravity would go on and off.
Yeah, so it's cycling between 0G and G.
Grav G.
They get the cryopods, but all of a sudden everything activates, and
red siren lights.
Lights turn red. The door closes on them, and they're in like a wet, sciencey area, cryo juice area, and all of a sudden something ejects from the walls. Facehuggers.
Oh, duh.
Yeah. So there's like...
They had shots of like facehuggers in a little, like a suitcase.
They got like silicone sacks full of facehuggers.
Yeah.
And you could see like temperature rising, heating them up. Obviously, this is spooky.
It is spooky. Remember in Star Wars, the junk monster with the trash compactors?
The Dianoga?
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
Because the facehuggers are swimming under the water.
It even trips Bjorn.
It trips and it starts pulling, I think, him down. But yeah.
So they're now, obviously they want to get out of here, but the doors have locked on them.
He keeps stun gunning them too, Bjorn. I think he had the stun gun. Well, he was hitting them with something. He had some kind of stick or pole. They're
stuck in here with a bunch of facehuggers, and Andy can't get them out. So they go back to that cut-in-half android, and they're like, well, this android has higher clearance. He's the science officer. So they eject a little circle disc chip from
this is one of Rain's mini smart moments.
Yes,
she figured it out. She's like looking at him. She's like, this thing has different clearance. Got to put his ear thing into Andy's ear thing.
Rain keeps making smart decisions. Andy plugs this chip into his brain. And
instantly he just...
His eyes literally roll into the back of his head. The back of his eyes have Wayland Yutani symbol on them.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah. And I will stop to say that David Johnson, who plays Andy, he does like a really good job of acting.
Very.
Because he cycles between, meek, stuttering Andy, and then he has all these robot mannerisms. And then after the chip activates in his head with the science officer chip, he becomes like a
Jaleel White. He becomes
a totally competent, hyper-competent.
Andrew Urkel.
Yeah, he turns from Andy into Andrew.
Seriously.
Steve? Steve who?
Steve Urkel. You.
No. There is no Steve here. I'm Stefan, sweet thing. Stefan Urkel.
So he's able to get clearance to exit this room. They exit the room, chased by facehuggers, like 100 facehuggers.
Yeah, they're slamming through not walls, but bust through the door glass. There's strength in numbers.
They run back to the shuttle, and I think they managed to get into the shuttle, but like one single facehugger gets through, and it latches onto Navarro's face, and she's an Asian girl. She is like the girlfriend of Bjorn, I guess, and
she's facehugged.
She's facehugged, yeah. So
and Andy's telling him about the facehuggers, even though later on he tells you he doesn't know anything about them, but he apparently knows everything.
Part of the crew is separated. The face-hugged Navarro kicks a throttle, and the shuttle starts veering off in crazy directions.
Yeah,
it slams into the space station, and it goes off.
It changes their orbit, right?
Yeah, it changes their orbit. So before they had 36 hours, now they have 45 minutes.
Right, which is a huge difference.
Until the station.
Till the ship hits the fan.
Till the ship hits the fan, dude. Yeah. So the orbit's decaying very rapidly. Everything's gone foobar. Navarro's got a facehugger. And Andy, like you said, is doing the rational science thing. He's like, it's giving her artificial oxygen. If you try to remove it, its tail will snap her neck.
It's so sick. And
so again, Rain, being the smart one, is like, well, can't we use the cryo-freeze spray to freeze the tail? And Andy's like, oh yeah, that'll work.
Oh yeah, I'm stupid.
Yeah. Duh. Obvious.
Duh, obvi. Stop!
Brandon's got dogs. Oh yeah. So they freeze the tail, the facehugger comes off. Rook is activated by this point. Rook says she's got a 60-40 chance of the seed already being implanted into her chest.
The Xeno seed?
Through the proboscis of the facehugger. It's got its long facehugger schlong down her throat. They pull it out.
I think it was like 2 feet long.
Yeah. It's so long.
What weirds me out, is it like stored in the tail or something? And then just ejects?
Yeah, it's got so long. Yeah. It's all scrunched up.
It's disgusting.
I know.
Things are gross, dude.
The thing dies.
It has a finger tube.
It does, finger tube. So they pull it off. It shrivels up. The rest of the crew separates. Michelle Rodriguez, Kay, and Navarro are still on the ship, the shuttle ship.
Yeah.
And she like takes the X-ray device and puts it behind her back as the chest burster's coming out.
It's just like this X-ray machine that does live X-rays.
Yeah.
You can see through everything.
It gives you 100,000 gigawatts of gamma radiation.
Yeah.
So the chest burster's happening. She's freaking out. Her leg's kicking around, and it kicks the throttle of the shuttle. Navarro has a chest burster busting out.
Jesus, JC, that was Agent Navarro. She was out of line there about the execution, but oh my God. Manderley will have you shot. We have to erase the log files. I don't like this, but I'll protect you this time. I guess you have to stand up for what you believe.
It slams into the station, causes its orbit to decay, and somehow they get back into the shuttle bay. So
yeah, right, because it does make its way back around into the shuttle bay.
But that's when the decaying
crashes
orbit
into
is
it.
happening. So now, this is pretty spooky. The chest burster escapes somewhere into the ship.
You do. So then Navarro's regained consciousness by this point.
Mm-hmm. No, she's dead. Because she had a chest burster.
Oh.
Kay regains consciousness and runs into Bjorn, who's the dick guy with the headband, and he discovers the xenomorph gestating into its adult form. So I think this is the first time you ever see a cocoon of a chest burster into a full-grown xenomorph.
It's a vag sac.
It is. It has a vagina.
Yeah. And it's spitting out little acid squirts at him.
After he
pokes it with his stun rod.
Yeah. So he's got a stun rod. He jams it in there and he just...
Yeah. I don't even know why he wouldn't just zap the outside. Test it out.
He just slams it up in the vagina hole and zaps it, and then acid starts dribbling out.
Yeah.
And like a dummy, he's standing under it.
Dumbass.
Bunch of acid drips on him.
It's melting his fingers.
Yep, it melts his fingers into skeleton
Skin
fingers.
off his bones, and then the bones decay.
Yep.
With dust.
And then I think one drips onto his heart or his chest, and once that gets deep enough, he just stops moving. He's like, bleh!
Yeah. I think you're right, though, because there was a patch of wet on his chest.
So Bjorn's dead.
Bjorn to be wild. Bad to the bone.
So Rain and Tyler then navigate their way to the bay to try to save Kay, who's stuck in the bay.
They should just make all the ship bays B-A-E. Bay. B-A-E. Bay 1,
yeah.
Bay 2.
Bay 1, Bay 2. Just to be funny.
Yeah, sure.
To rescue Kay, Tyler and Rain and Andy try to go back to unlock it, but Rook grabs Andy's arm, and since they're both androids with a new Prime Directive, Rook is like, Andy, human beings have too many emotions. They can't make the smart, rational choice.
You and I, however, if we can.
We can. We are the superior beings.
I am your father.
Treat them like babies. They can't do it. They go to the shuttle bay. Kay is stuck in there with the xenomorph. Pretty tense because it's like
scary. She's
like under a grate and the xenomorph lands on the grate and she's just there hyperventilating like
It can hear her, but it's too easy.
Yeah. It's too easy, so it creeps away.
Yeah.
And then she runs up to the door to escape. She presses buttons and all of a sudden it's blah, 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 blah. Yeah. It's like, everybody,
alert!
This girl's trying to escape. Yeah.
Come investigate.
Come look it.
If you're an alien, here's dinner.
Here she is. And so
she meets Tyler, Andy, and Rain at the door.
They're on the other side.
They're all trying to get her out, but then Andy's like...
Andy does have access to get her out.
Yeah.
But he's like, wait, don't you guys see?
There's a Xeno back there.
Right over there.
Yeah, behind her. Through the glass they can see it.
Yeah.
Just standing on like some cargo boxes.
Just in the corner looking at her, just smiling. Not moving. And he's like...
I think she sees it one time and then starts panicking more.
Yeah.
And then Rain's pleading for her. She's pregnant.
She's pregnant.
How could you do this? Just let her out. He's like, but the probability is if we open it, we're all dead.
Like, don't you see it?
I don't care. I can save her. And he's like, but I just said the probability. I don't care, you stupid robot.
Yeah. There's an alien monster right behind her. Don't you see it, you guys?
Use your eyes. You're human, right?
It's like... you don't have to be an android to get this.
I may have binocular vision and cheetah speed, but you have eyes. Too.
Yeah. And the alien gets tired of waiting. So it's just like, fuck it.
Let's go.
Yeah. So it grabs her. It kind of stabs her a little bit, but not enough to kill her. Pulls her away. And everybody's a little bit mad at Andy. And he's like, oh, come on, guys. Please.
Come on, guys.
Understand.
Play patty cake.
Play patty cake. Be happy. Like, get your morale up.
Be happy.
Come on, guys. Want a joke? It's
You want a joke? Want a Coke? Pulls the Coca-Cola out. Ad placement.
In the future, they still got Coke.
Probably Pepsi.
Weyland-Yutani Coke.
They had Pepsi.
They don't trust Andy anymore.
Not at all.
And
killed their friend. He got their friend killed.
They got a bit of justification for that because his new Prime Directive is rewritten to be, don't do what's best for Rain anymore. Do what's best for the company.
He's a company man.
He is a company man now. I think next they make their way to a science lab area.
Which looks really cool.
It's like a white room. This is where Rook says they've been doing experiments on the Xenos because human beings are too fragile. They get black lung in mines.
Yeah.
They can't colonize.
But they weren't really made for life off Earth.
Exactly.
So what is like a direct comparison that they're going to try to get Xenos to do their mining work?
Ignoring the obvious, the obvious
that they can't be controlled.
The obvious alternative is to make a bunch of androids do the work.
Well, it's probably just too expensive.
Yeah,
I would imagine.
So instead, they're going to use Xeno DNA. They extract black goo from the Xenos. They call it Prometheum Fire. Prometheus Fire.
Sounds like a sexually transmitted disease. Promethean fire.
Yeah. And it is designed to perfect humans. So Rook insists that they have to get this serum back to Weyland-Yutani. At this point, they're like, okay, let's take this serum, let's escape the ship. So they're on their way to escape the ship, but they see some rifles, and they're like, ooh, those are neat. So they grab these rifles, which are like white pulse rifles with 450 rounds, and they got a bit of auto aim.
Yeah, all you have to do is pull the trigger, and it'll aim. And
it'll automatically swivel to the target.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're like Mass Effect guns.
Yeah, I will say one little complaint is like this takes place before Aliens, and it seems these guns are better than
they're more sophisticated.
The future guns.
Well, but time is relative. So really, this place could be more adept at having weaponry or something.
Could also be maybe these guns are too expensive for the grunts to have.
That's a good point too. Yeah, because it was on the station.
There's any number of explanations.
Yeah. Oh no, and I will say, Tyler did tell her that they were used by the Colonial Marines.
Oh, yeah.
So if they're Marine weapons, then yeah, of course they're better.
It's kind of a combination of the smart gun and the M4A1 pulse rifle from Aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's a smaller caliber.
Right, this is an F-44 AA pulse rifle. It's rotating breech electronic pulse action. That's what the Colonial Marines used. AA stands for aiming assist. So right, you put that under your arm. See? Aiming assistance.
Where'd you learn all this?
Games and magazines.
Anyway. Oh god. Yawning.
Turn red.
Here, let's slam through it. Slam fire this.
Slam Promethean fire.
Yeah.
I'm gonna slam some Promethean fire, dude. Turn me into a toxic crusader.
Yeah. So they get these rifles, but Andy immediately spoils it by saying you can't use them because if you shoot an alien, its acid blood will cause explosive decompression.
Yeah, which is crazy because that's never been brought up before. Well, Alien 1, they followed it below the decks, but they never even mentioned that that's a possibility.
Well,
I never
Alien
even
1,
thought about it. It's like, damn.
Alien 1, it bleeds. It just doesn't.
It doesn't bleed all the way
through. It's a
through.
small enough amount of blood that it doesn't bleed through the hull.
Right.
So the idea is basically, yeah, if you, Parker from Alien 1 even says they have a wonderful defense mechanism, you don't dare kill it.
Right.
So they're trying to rescue Kay from a cocoon for some reason. I guess they're trying to go back for her, but along the way, Tyler gets it real bad.
He does. He gets scorpion-tailed.
Yep. They tail him, they drag him up to the ceiling, and then they tongue him.
Oh, yeah, with their little inner mouth.
Yeah. He gets it real bad.
Yeah.
And then Andy is also incapacitated, so he gets like slashed in the neck. And Andy does.
He does, which is freaking wild.
He does this thing where he kind of seizes out sometimes, and this causes him to seize out.
Then Rain will reset him, basically.
Yeah, they want to rescue Andy, but they don't have time because xenomorphs are chasing them. So they get to an elevator shaft, and they start moving up the elevator shaft. But
yeah, this one was wild.
Rain is like, I got to go back and save my brother Andy. She's like, all right, even though you're stabbed and you're bleeding out and you're pregnant, can you make it to the shuttle on your own, Kay? Michelle Rodriguez? And she's like, I guess so. So Michelle Rodriguez takes the serum and is on her way back to the ship up the elevator. Meanwhile, Rain turns into Sigourney Weaver in Aliens, and she goes back down on her own.
She is such a badass.
Yeah, it's badass. She's got a rifle, and she's going back to save Andy. So she gets down there. So no xenomorphs to be seen. She's rescuing Andy. Andy is like, don't take the ship out. But Rain's like,
just let rain. Some stay dry and others feel the pain.
Well, to take the chip out, you're both doing what's best for the company and what's best for Rain by saving you.
Right. Remember, your prime direct. Well,
both of your prime direct.
Your original prime direct.
So Rain goes back to save Andy. Kay is heading back to the shuttle on her own. Somewhere
Which is dumb, anyways, because
it's dumb because she's. So Rain goes back to save Andy. Andy successfully allows her to remove the chip from his head.
Yeah.
So she does.
But I think there's a comment around there where they were saying that the chip allows him to learn, but he said it's even more.
The chip is, it rewrites his programming to be a science man.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So he just has a higher knowledge of science.
Stuff on him.
Yeah.
Finn, get on the couch. He just looks at you.
He just does not understand.
Would you mind just to pull the blanket over him? Fuck. Come on. Good boy. He ain't gonna do it. He's 3 years old.
So Rain replaces Andy's chip. Well, he takes out the new chip, which turns him back into old Andy for the most part. So he again has his like stutter back and his mannerisms of being Andy instead of Andrew.
I like Andrew.
I like them both.
Me too.
David Johnson. He sounds like a robot, just the actor name. So Kay, she's got the delirium tremens. She's got the sweats. She doesn't think she's going to make it back to the ship. So she decides to take the serum and inject herself in the back of the neck.
Which I kind of saw coming anyways, but...
I knew it was going to happen to somebody.
Yeah. Well, she was going to do it before, and then Rain's like,
right.
No, I don't trust this. There's got to be another way.
Right, so we got to jump back in time real quick. So when they first found the serum, and Rook is explaining what it is.
Telling him that it's his...
He's spitting Promethean fire.
Yeah. Right.
He's explaining. So this juice, this ectoplasm that they get from the xenomorphs, they have footage of a lab experiment with a mouse, like a white rat, and the footage shows them crushing the rat, because Weyland-Yutani is an evil corporation, and then the rat's all crushed. They inject the rat with serum, and then the rat regrows. It healing factor from the rat. And so Rook is like, this serum will make humans invincible. And so since Kay is bleeding out, they're talking about injecting her to heal her wound. But like you said, Rain is like, no, I don't trust this.
Right.
There has to be another way. We'll get you to the cryopod, and then we'll heal you when we get to the planet.
Well, he even said that the DNA melds with your, like, any organism's DNA. no matter what it is.
Yeah. It does.
Which is weird because with all the testing, you'd think they'd see it's overall not good.
This is the crazy thing is, I don't know how they missed this, but they leave that science room, and then the camera pans over to, like, you see some weird freak mutant abomination, half xenomorph, half rat, dead on the table. And you know it's half rat because it's got the white fur on it.
The fur head. Yeah.
And you see the footage. If they just stayed in there a little longer and kept watching the footage, the rat that healed continues to mutate into a xeno freak, So back to where we were, Kay has injected herself with the serum, and Rain has rescued Andy. She takes out the chip, reboots him, and now they're both good and full health again, but they're trapped down there with the xenomorphs who are crawling towards them.
Yeah, and it's a bunch of them, too,
at this point. So at this point, they are resigned to their death because they shoot the xenos, explosive decompression happens. They can't escape just yet because I guess they have to wait for the elevator. So they're both just sitting down next to the elevator. Andy's programming back to regular Andy, is telling her corny dad jokes again. She's like, tell me jokes. I want to die being amused. So one of the jokes he says is, you know why the anti-gravity book is so good? The book on anti-gravity?
I forgot why.
Because you can't put it down.
Oh, yeah. And then she's like, oh my God, genius.
So she decides, like, oh yeah, acid can't melt through the hull if there's no gravity to pull the acid towards the hull. So she turns off the gravity, and now she's allowed to completely unload with the rifle.
Xenos.
And so, like, Andy is, like, holding her down so she doesn't fly around.
So something that we partially mentioned earlier was that obviously the blood can go through the hull. Andy swiftly turns around, but don't shoot though, because the blood, remember? But it gets brought up later, they're actually potentially scared of the guns. They don't even need to fire it. So in my brain, I was like, is this like a genetic violence thing?
Yeah.
Where they just understand that these are weapons and they're smarter?
Yeah, so even though they don't want to actually shoot, Andy is like, they might still recognize the threat. And I read this thing once, I think it was on Reddit, somebody asked the question, is like, how smart are xenomorphs? Somebody replied that they're always smarter than you think. Which makes sense, because that's like their superpower in the movies, the aliens, is that they're always underestimated.
Yeah, because they're just bugs.
Yeah, and in Aliens, actually, I think it's Hudson who says, how are they testing our defenses like this, man? They're just animals. Yeah.
Right.
What do you mean they cut the power? How could they cut the power, man? They're animals.
At this point, they're in 0G in this hallway, and Rain just unloads, which is what you want to see. So she's just blowing their heads off, exploding their heads, blowing them apart, like just a horde of xenomorphs. I believe this gun has 450 rounds.
Well, what's weird, it was 450. I thought when they were firing, it was much less because the little light indicator bars for ammo kept going down so much.
And Andy's even like 60%, 40%.
Yeah, like right away. But they're still shooting way after, too.
Yeah.
And, well, go on. There's one funny part where a lot of ammunition gets used for no reason.
Yeah. So she successfully clears the way of xenomorphs, but now there's blood circling. They have to get to the other end of this hallway, which means that they have to crawl on the catwalks in 0G past all this blood.
Which I thought was a high concept idea.
It is. It's pretty cool.
It's pretty out there.
It's pretty cool.
Pretty
hazard.
Space. Yeah.
Outer space idea. So they crawl through this hallway, and she's about to run into a huge amount of acid blood. So she fires the pulse rifle out of the way. She uses it as a propulsion. That was kind of cool.
And high concept.
High concept. So they successfully get back to the elevator shaft. Cool part, elevator slams into a bunch of xenomorphs, kills them. They get back to their shuttlecraft, which is, I guess, called the Corbellin.
Yeah, Corbellin.
The surviving people are back on that ship, minus Rook. So it's Andy, Rain, and Kay, who's Michelle Rodriguez. They're all back on the shuttle. They escape the Romulus, and Kay starts to be affected by the serum. And this
starts freaking out.
Yeah, this is one of the most gross, horrifying parts.
It's really gross.
You
ever seen Carnosaur?
Ever seen Carnosaur? Well, she's having a carnal baby.
Yeah, carnal baby on an alien ship.
Yep. So her belly is huge. She's giving birth. Blood spurting everywhere.
Ugh.
Oh. She gives birth to this egg
pod thing. Yeah.
It's like a foot long pod. And then Rain is obviously about to abort this shit.
Yeah, she rips the umbilical cord.
Yeah, she rips the umbilical cord, throws it over.
Yeah.
She's about to blast it with freeze juice, cryo juice. She's got like a Ghostbusters 2 backpack. Yeah. But before she does, she sees like a humanoid face, and she's like, oh, it's a baby? So she hesitates, and this egg is covered in acid, so it melts through the deck.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot about that too. You said that.
And it melts into, like, I guess this shuttle is like a little cargo hauler. It hauls dirt, so it falls into
Which dirt can't be
acided?
Yeah.
I guess.
Like diamonds or pure carbon.
Yeah, carbon.
That makes sense. So the sand.
Yeah,
you can't burn sand.
So it melts, the egg falls into the cargo bay, and Rain is like, you guys wait here, I'm going to go get the egg monster.
Yeah.
And while she goes down there, upstairs, we see what hatched from the egg is...
Abomination.
Yeah. It's got
Aliens 4 style.
Yeah, it's kind
monster
of
thing.
It's something that everybody can hate. The aliens shouldn't like it. Humans obviously hate it.
They can't talk, obviously, but it's very humanoid. Yeah.
It's like a white-skinned, tall, mannish, like slender man.
Slender man. Yeah.
Brandon called it a Promethean.
Promethean. That's exactly what it is.
It's got the Prometheus engineer face, but it's got
super
like
long arms and legs.
It's got like tubes on its back. It's got a tail. It's a freak.
Yeah.
It sucks.
I wonder what's up with the tubes.
It's just H.R. Geiger's freak art.
Oh, yeah.
Is biomechanical.
Punk. Steampunk.
Gore punk.
Yeah.
So it's upstairs now with Andy and Kay. Kay screams. So Rain is downstairs and playing in the dirt. And she's like, oh, it's upstairs. So she goes upstairs to find it with its...
Oh, yeah. It's it has a lamprey tongue.
Yeah.
With like a tremor mouth on it.
Yep. So it's kind of like the alien tongue, but
on her.
Gross.
Eating her, digesting her.
It's sucking her blood.
It's gross.
So Kay is juiced out. She's dead. So Rain tries to freeze spray it, but it jams. So they do a little Benny Hill run around the ship for a minute. Eventually she unjams it and she sprays it and it's like... The traditional way you deal with monsters in the alien movies is she airlocks it. So I guess this Saturn planet is called Jackson. She ejects it into Jackson's rings. And all the ships, all the station, everything's flying into the rings.
Yeah, no, it was awesome because it had the shot inside the space station as it's being disintegrated underneath. Yeah. Which I didn't think about until now. Were they 0G that whole time?
No, because she's running and stuff. Everything's standing.
Yeah. Wonder how that works. But think about it, because they're in space.
Yeah, Alien franchise has like soft sci-fi science.
Yeah, which is fun. So one thing, just real quick, I forgot if we didn't mention it. When they turn the gravity on and off, no matter what, say you're running full speed,
the inertia.
Like imagine running full speed 60 miles an hour as a human, and then gravity just turns on off, and then you freeze like you're frozen.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work that way. You keep going, just slowly.
Which I get why they didn't do, because then you couldn't have the set pieces of like the blood.
It'd probably be too much. That's what I was about to say. It'd probably be too much because
it's true.
We could make it more realistic, but this is too dangerous.
Yeah, we didn't feel like it.
Alien blood.
Yeah. So they airlock the abomination. It dies. Rook dies too. Here he's like, no,
he does.
This is bigger than me. I knew the serum. And then he slams into the rocks.
The rocks. Yeah.
Yeah.
The rock rings.
She's talking to Andy like, we made it. Everybody else died, but we made it. And Andy's like, but Rain, it's illegal for you to bring an android to this planet. And at this point, she's just like, I don't care.
I don't even want to be around anymore.
What?
I've been through too much shit. I don't care. And
earlier, I keep wanting to say Data, Andy finds out that she wasn't allowed to bring him from Tyler, I think, or someone.
Yeah, Andy is alone with Tyler and Bjorn, and they're being dicks to him. They're like, you didn't know? You didn't know? Like, you know that she can't bring you. She plans to leave you here. You know that she wants to go to the planet by herself and leave you here because it's illegal to bring you. And then it's sad because he's so nice.
He starts semen crying.
God. He does. Okay. He's sad. He's like, whatever's best for Rain, that's what I want.
He has an ejaculate emotion. Okay, let's stop.
Ejaculates emotions. So now Rain is like, no, don't do what's best for Rain. Do what's best for us. He's like, okay, dude. She takes his chip, and then they go into cryostasis, and he goes into hibernation mode. Yeah. And they fly off into space.
Fuck. No. They're brother and sister. It's not going to happen.
But yeah,
that's the whole movie.
That's the whole movie.
Now, granted, This is a 2-hour movie, and we've probably talked for about 45 minutes or so. But the bulk of the movie is, I wouldn't say drawn out, but it's like setting the atmosphere, setting the pace.
Yeah, there's a fair amount of tension building.
Exactly.
Because it's a horror movie.
Yeah. So the script might be short, but the film as a whole, it's a whole shebang.
It's a movie, dude.
It's a whole movie, man. You wouldn't pay for a 45-minute movie, would you?
Yeah, right.
Just watch it on YouTube. Okay.
So, Brandon, now we're at our next segment. What is your post-watch rating?
So I think I gave it acid drops and facehuggers.
Yeah.
4.5 and 90. So I'd probably give it I'll just stay at 4.5 facehuggers, and we'll go 92 acid drops.
Okay.
That's good.
Will give it 4.5 also out of 5, and I'll give it 90.
90 what? 90 Andy cards?
90 Andy cards.
Little data chips?
Little data chips.
Okay.
Andy chips.
What was the first one again?
4.5.
4.5. Okay.
Yeah, dude.
It's good.
What are the best and worst things?
The best thing was the aesthetic. I'll say the actors as a whole.
I'd say Andy's the best.
Yeah, that's true too.
I liked him a lot.
So included in actors, and then I think again just aesthetic, the
they nailed
ambience,
it so
the
good.
atmosphere, the whole thing.
Like just the look and feel and sound and everything.
It felt like a legitimate Alien movie. It felt like modern day 1979 Alien 1 movie.
Retro futurism.
Yeah. What's the worst?
The worst, I'd say, for me, just because I hate Alien, Prometheus, and Covenant, is that they did pay lip service to it. They had Prometheus fire. The Abomination's face looked like the engineer face.
Yeah. It looked exactly like it, which is kind of creepy. But
just because they didn't retcon that, that's a negative for me. Not even the movie's fault, but, you know.
Yeah.
Who would you recommend it to?
You.
Okay.
Anybody that loves sci-fi, action, spooky alien movies.
Yeah, it is a horror movie, so it's spooky. It's got some violence and gross.
I wouldn't recommend it to somebody that's wanting to see a romantic comedy.
It's not that romantic.
Or a slapstick comedy.
Yeah.
It's not even like any quips in the movie that would be slapstick, really.
There's a few jokes.
Yeah.
Corny dad jokes.
Well, the dad jokes, but yeah.
Some guy in the theater's just...
Right?
like every 5 minutes.
30 minutes later, he repeats the jokes and laughs to himself again. He can't
put it down.
Yeah.
Slaps his knee.
Spilling popcorn and soda all over.
Spitting the pop out on people in front of him.
Spit takes every time.
Oh, I will say the movie theater was completely empty.
Oh yeah, if we didn't mention it, it was me, Alex, and 2 other people in the entire movie theater.
Yeah.
So that offered a very good atmosphere as well. It was so quiet.
It's like the best theater going experience I've ever had.
It was great.
And the seats are like nice cushion. They had raising leg rests.
Leather recliner seats.
It was great. We're right in the middle. It was good.
It was good.
All right, ranking. So, best to worst. We have number 1 was Deadpool and Wolverine. Number 2 is Bad Lieutenant Port of Call, New Orleans. Number 3 is Batman and Robin, 1997.
Because Arden would not allow to be ranked lower than the Batman.
Yeah, correct. I wouldn't lower the Batman. Then Jurassic World Dominion, based on nostalgia alone. Then a tie between Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas and Soldier, starring the badass Kurt Russell as Todd Soldier. Then number 7, The Super Mario Bros. Part 2. Then number 8, Triple X, starring Van Diesel. Then number 9, Michael Keaton, Batman 3, The Flash. 10, Blood Freak. 11, Carnosaur. 12, Kroll. 13, The Guyver. 14, Super Mario Bros. Part 1. 15, Morbius.
14?
16, Donnie Darko. 17, Gummo. More like Gumno, am I right? 18, Infinitely Last Place, Old Boy.
Yeah, we can never take that out of that place.
So I'd say, is it better than the Batman?
I think where I'm going to place it is, yes, better than the Batman.
Okay.
But not better than Batman and Robin / Bad Lieutenant and Deadpool, because I haven't seen the first 2. And Batman and Robin I've seen like 20 years ago. Yeah, no.
Yeah. So I have to
But I'll trust your ranking, you and Arden.
Right.
It's fine for those.
So since I'm a coward, and I don't want to make the decision, I will tie it with Deadpool and Wolverine at number 1.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
All right, what
I will say, for me, no, I'll agree. I mean, I have no choice, but yeah, I agree.
You can change it later.
I don't want to. I was going to say put it at number 2 as just number 2, but...
You can do that.
Well, I'm thinking it's better than Port of Call, but I've never seen it, so...
I would rather watch it again. Like, it's more easily rewatched, I think. Okay. What award would... Wait, are we making it number 2? We can do that.
No, it's fine. Tie for 1.
Okay. All right, Brandon, what awards would you give the movie? Make up a award.
Best new alien movie. Best alien movie of 2024.
Of 2024, okay.
So I don't think there's any other alien movies.
Yeah.
Any alien of any type coming out this year.
No.
Maybe.
There is a TV show coming, but I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's movie.
Yeah, movie.
Best movie awards.
Okay, new segment.
All right.
Last section.
Moving on.
Fun and games section.
You think it's a game? You think it's a fucking game?
So, first up, we got trivia and goofs.
Gosh. Yuck.
Wake me up.
Wake me up in my blood to I can't wake up before I come undone. Save me! Save me from the nothing I've become.
From a special wiki this time, Xenopedia.
Whoa.
So, siblinghood is an intended theme of the film, and that ties into the name of the movie, which is Romulus and Remus, which are 2 modules of the Renaissance space station for some reason.
Yep.
Named after the founders of Rome, these 2 brothers.
Which one of them kills the other.
Yeah.
In history.
So I don't really get how that ties into anything.
I have no idea.
But that's the name.
They probably just thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It does sound neat, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah.
I guess the actual tagline is supposed to be, in space, no one can hear you. ... Yeah. Which Alien 1
original was Scream.
Yeah, in space no one can hear you scream. So I imagine next Alien movie will be just in space.
Oh, in space, yeah. Right. Aliens in space.
Yeah. Alvarez, who is the director, Fede Alvarez, started the project in 2022, and he consulted Ridley Scott and James Cameron. And they intentionally tried to keep the aesthetic of the original film.
Glad they did.
Yes, it's good. Alvarez used Xenopedia, this wiki, when writing the film. He said,
That's cool.
It's designed to fit into the canon of the films as much as possible, but things got hard when he started factoring all the games and novels and stuff.
Right.
Which, quick tangent.
Which have their own history and lore.
Something I find interesting about the Alien franchise is it tries to make everything canon that's ever happened. So my favorite example is the space jockey in the original Alien movie, which is like 4 times the size of a human being. Yeah. And it's got like an elephant trunk. Well, in the novels and the comics and stuff, they actually made the alien look like it has an elephant trunk and stuff. But when Ridley Scott made Alien Prometheus, and he said, oh, the space jockeys are actually human-sized, and they look like humans, they're just albino human men.
Right. Prometheus.
Yeah. They didn't retcon it. They just said, okay, I guess there's space jockeys that look like humans and also ones that look like elephants. Mm-hmm. So they try to make everything canon, which is interesting.
Yeah. Well, it's cool because it keeps the theme of all the films. Like, if you watch one alien movie to another, it really feels like it's all the same universe.
Yeah. It's like...
Which I think's cool.
What Disney did when they got the rights to Star Wars they said, oh, everything you did all these years, it's not real now.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. We're going to make up stuff.
Yeah. So I do prefer this strategy. But Alvarez contacted Ian Holmes' family in Widower. That's the guy who played Ash in Rook. And they gave consent to use his likeness.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. And apparently they did use animatronics with CGI on top of it. So that's why it has this super uncanny, creepy effect when you see him talk and stuff.
I like it, though.
Yeah, it's good. Makes sense because he's a creepy android.
Right.
I'll talk real quick about the xenomorph life cycle because it's interesting.
Hold on to your butts.
What's stage 1?
Stage 1 is the ovomorph.
It's just the egg.
Yeah.
Which are laid by a queen. Or, interestingly enough, there's a deleted scene in the original Alien where one of the guys, the first guy they kill and steal, they're turning him into an egg. And then another guy that the alien captures, says, kill me, Ripley. Kill me, please. And he's going to get face hugged by this egg morph. So they can either, if they don't have a queen, they can turn a man into an egg. Stage 2 is face hugger. A face hugger, its whole point is to rape somebody's face, and then it dies.
Yeah, it has to stick its pool noodle tube down your throat.
Yeah. And it's a parasitoid.
Yes.
Stage 3 is a chest burster. Over the course of 1 to 24 hours, or maybe longer if it's a queen embryo, it will turn the host's body, it'll use its own biological material to turn into a chest burster in a process called DNA reflex. So if it's on a human, it'll be bipedal. If it's on a four-legged animal, it'll be a quadruped alien. And then you got drones. Their whole point is to serve the hive. You got warriors, whose whole point is to protect the hive. You got Praetorians, who've got big head crests. This is all like in the games and stuff, like Alien vs. Predator Extinction. And
if you've never seen or played an Alien game or seen a movie, then go on to Xenopedia.
Yeah.
They'll explain everything. There's so much lore.
It's all canon. All right. The xenomorph design in this film is supposed to be closer to H.R. Geiger's designs. A director's cut was shown to Ridley Scott and James Cameron 6 months earlier before the film release, and Cameron gave them notes. So they consulted.
And he said, delete it.
Scrap it. Start over.
Redo everything.
Fix it in post with CGI. Throughout its production, Romulus was filmed in chronological order to better emulate the suspenseful atmosphere of the original.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
In which viewers did not originally know who was going to live. In addition, the cast had emotional goodbyes to actors whose character died while they continued filming without him. So
that's actually cool, too, because then, for one, they don't even know who dies, right? Theoretically. And for two...
Or at least it feels more like it's happening as it's happening.
That's what I was going to say, because the original Alien, they had the surprise thing with the chest burster. Nobody knew.
And Lambert's actress was like, ah!
Right. So it's genuine reaction. So by doing this, they could create more of a genuine cast family.
Dude. It feels real.
Yeah, it feels realer.
IMDb notes, trivia.
Yeah.
So, when the gravity turns off, things don't keep their momentum, as we mentioned. Director Fede Alvarez sought out special effects crew from the original Aliens to work on the creatures. So the physical sets, practical creatures, miniatures were used as much as possible to help ground the VFX work later.
Nice.
The chronological timeline is Prometheus 2089 to 2093, Alien Covenant 2104, Alien 2122, Alien Romulus 2142, so exactly 20 years after the original, and then Aliens 2179, Alien 3 also 2179, and Alien Resurrection 2379, so 200 years later.
And if you're keeping notes, there's two that are the same, Aliens and Alien 3. Apparently it's happened the same year.
Yeah, so right after they go into cryo sleep at the end of Aliens, they crash land immediately afterward.
Yeah.
The film's production design draws not only on the previous film in the series, but also Alien Isolation.
The director played Alien Isolation.
Yeah, in 2016, when he was working on his movie Don't Breathe, he said, I was playing and realized how terrifying Alien could be if you take it back to that tone, which was a good call, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So things from that game are actually visible in the movie. The idea of an Alien film centering on younger characters was inspired by a deleted scene of Aliens that was later restored in the special edition. The director explained that there's a moment when you see a bunch of kids running around the colony, and I thought, wow, that'd be cool. See these kids die. According to a YouTube channel called Celebrities Saying Their Own Names, I have been correctly pronouncing the lead actress's name as Kaylee Spaney.
Did you think you weren't?
I thought I was saying it just to be funny that way, but that's how you actually say it.
Yeah.
Kaylee Spaney.
Kaylee Spaney.
And the release of Romulus overlaps with the 45th anniversary of the series, the original film's release. Woo! This time.
Yeah.
So this list is my personal, from memory, how I would rank the movies from best to worst. So Aliens, 1986. Alien, 1979, just because it's the original. Alien Romulus, 2024. Alien Resurrection, 1997. Alien v Predator vs. Predator, 2004. Alien vs. Predator Requiem, 2007. Alien 3, 1992. Prometheus and Covenant.
I like it.
You like it?
It's a good list.
It's a good list. It's my list. All right, who would win? So now time for a no-holds-barred improvised battle royale. We're going to see who wins. Characters from the previous episode against characters from this episode.
Which we're going to have Deadpool Wolverine versus Andy and Rook.
And let's say it's during a part of Alien Romulus, which is focusing on another character. So, meanwhile, we are in a part of Romulus as it's crashing into the discs of Saturn, and a time door opens, and Deadpool and Wolverine come through the time door using a tin pad, and they're like, where are we at now, bub?
Yeah.
Andy tells Rain, I got to step out to take a leak for a minute. I'll be right back. So Andy...
Android has to pee.
I got to come. Got to release my cum semen fluid. Got to cycle that out every now and then. So he and Rook are walking to this other part of the ship, and they spot Deadpool and Wolverine. And they're like, what are you guys doing here? You're unidentified life forms.
Not supposed to be here. Identify yourself.
And Rook sees these guys. They stab each other and they heal instantly. So Rook is like, "Oh my goodness, these are the perfect.
These are my people." Oh yeah, perfect organism. There you go. So he runs up to one of them right away.
No, remember he's cut in half.
Oh, true.
So
he can't run. He cartwheels himself. Okay.
Right. Andy has Rook on his shoulders, like Yoda,
like a little kid.
Yeah, like a little kid. And he's having fun. Rook is like, "Andy, throw me at them." So he does. So he throws him
without hesitation.
Yeah. Rook has a scalpel, and he lands on Wolverine's back, and Wolverine can't get him off him. So get him off me!
He's too small.
Get him the fuck off me! So Deadpool's trying to stab him off, and Wolverine's spinning around in circles, and Rook is getting their blood. So he managed to stab Wolverine and suck up some of Wolverine's blood.
Ew.
Yeah.
His healing factor blood?
Yeah. He spits it into a vial, and then Rook flies off of Wolverine onto Deadpool, and he does the same thing.
Does he get flung, or he lunges himself off?
I guess what does he do?
The second one.
Okay.
He lunges himself off like a freak.
Yeah, onto Deadpool.
Yeah.
And then he stabs him and sucks his blood out. Spits it into a vial.
All of his blood.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Yeah. And then all the commotion attracts xenomorphs, and they're in zero gravity, so I guess they can kill xenomorphs.
Because they're on the ship, right?
Yeah. So Deadpool, Wolverine, they both have adamantium, so the acid doesn't melt it.
Oh, yeah.
So they can just cut them up.
But isn't he just a walking piece of metal at that point? Because it melts his skin off?
So much acid. Yeah. So
it's too much.
Wolverine's just a skeleton with eyeballs.
Actually pretty cool to see.
Yeah. And Deadpool's just like, his leg gets melted, but then it heals right back. And,
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a lizard.
Yeah. I guess Rook gets back on Andy's shoulders with the vials. But what you didn't see is Rook stabbed Deadpool and Wolverine with the Prometheus fire.
Oh, man. He's a sneaky.
Because he's a scientist.
Okay, yeah.
He wants to see what
So now they're both going to turn into Xenos?
Yeah, so they mutate now into Xenofreaks. Like superpowered, healing factor, Deadpool, Wolverine, Xenomorph monsters.
But she's strong.
And Andy's like, "Why did you do that?"
So calm. Just there's roaring and screeching and
stabbing,
slashing. Yeah, stabbing sounds and pain.
They're in zero gravity.
Why did you do that?
Freaking out. Yeah, why did you do that? So
he has no answers.
He just looks at him and smiles.
Yeah.
It's like, "I can't lie to you about your chances, but you have my sympathies."
Quote from the movie.
So Andy just punches him.
He punches Rook?
Yeah, he just
punches his head off.
Punches his head off.
He punches his head like they did in Alien 1. I can't remember his name, but he uses a pole. Yeah, Parker uses the pole and
he goes,
he T-1000s his head off.
Yeah. So I guess Andy needs to. He just wants out of here now, right?
I think so.
So Andy grabs those vials, and how does he make it away from Deadpool Wolverine monsters?
He just jumps off the ship.
He jumps off the ship.
Yeah, why not?
And
he's gotten away.
Yeah, he gets away. Well,
he doesn't have thrusters or anything, so maybe he latches onto some satellite debris or something.
Okay. And then Rain sees him floating in the debris and scoops him up in the shuttle, the Corbelis or whatever.
There you go.
And then the Romulus slams into the rings of Saturn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Theoretically, Wolverine and Deadpool are dead, but we don't know.
Yeah. But those vials, they can regrow from a single cell organism.
That's true. So at this point, they're dead.
Andy's got the vials.
Andy and Rain for the win.
And, yeah. Ba-ba-ba! Yeah. Victory.
Victory Squad. We did it. Thank you.
Folks. Yay. Devil's Advocate, I guess who would be under legal assault would be Weyland-Yutani once they get to the planet Yvargran or whatever that Rain is headed towards. The planet's local magistrate would be like, "So, why did you bring this android here when you weren't supposed to?"
Yeah.
What would they say legally? I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't care.
I don't care. You're freaking out over nothing, babe.
But yeah. And then Andy can wipe their minds like a Jedi, even though he's an android.
He gets another upgrade skill tree from another chip that he found. Oh, yeah. A Jedi chip.
There you go, Jedi chip.
There you go. All right, what you been watching?
Shows. Oh yeah, Movie Tarot. It was called. It's pretty cool. Horror movie.
Final Destination, kind of.
Yeah. Watched this anime show called Puppy Cat. Made you watch one episode. It's not good. It's weird.
It's something.
I'll
just blast through mine. I've been watching Furiosa, A Good Day to Die Hard, The Thing 2011, There Will Be Blood, Tenet, X-Men 97, Ad Astra, Loki Season 2. And as a slight addendum to the previous episode, while the Loki TV series is awesome, and I highly recommend you check it out, I think you can still watch Deadpool and Wolverine without it and get the gist. But you probably do want to watch it just so you can understand all the multiverse hijinks that happens after Avengers Endgame saga stuff in the MCU. Then I'd consider it kind of mandatory viewing. Okay, so pet peeve. I hate it when people crack open beers on podcasts. I have misophonia. I don't like the sound. You're not cool, dude.
You're not cool.
You're just drinking beer. Anybody can do that.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like in one regard they do it to be cool, or the other regard they just do it so much they don't realize they're doing it as much.
Or it's like part of their identity that they drink beer.
Right, which is great.
I drink beer, don't you? What beer do you like? I like beer. I'm old enough to drink beer.
Holly Beery, am I right?
Holly Beery, dude.
That's all I got, dude.
I feel like I complained about this before. But it sucks still, so whatever.
Yeah. You did last night, because guess what, audience? This is the second time we've recorded this podcast.
We had to record this whole podcast twice.
Disclaimer. We had to do it 2 times.
We're fucking on edge. We're edging because of this. Oh my.
On the flip side, it was 3.5 hours long.
So this is probably a lot more brisk.
Which, although... Judy! She literally launched herself off of him when I said,
oh my god.
So it was brisk. And 3.5 hours of content down the toilet.
Yep.
But
hey,
you live, you learn, you get better.
You record again if you
record again. We have the technology.
So
it didn't cost $10,000 to re-record this.
No. Now we're recording on backups on backups.
Yeah.
So we love you, live, you learn, you love.
Back it up.
People can contact us by sending us email.
Yeah.
I want to hate it at gmail.com.
Also, now on YouTube.
On YouTube as well. We just made YouTube starting now. So you can see it on YouTube.
It's going to take a while for the episodes to get up there. Per the algorithms.
Releasing
every
Friday.
Yeah, every Friday for the next foreseeable future.
Until I run out of content.
Exactly.
And I'll upload them when I can.
So at least like 18 more Fridays.
Yeah. But yeah, dude.
Which actually, that's 9 months.
Yeah, so I got content
for a while, time,
including
dude.
These current ones.
Wow, dude. Jeez.
Yeah, dude.
Well, this was a surprise speedball edition of IWHI because we didn't take notes. It was kind of random that we got the tickets to see the movie.
We just decided to watch it.
Here we are. So it was a surprise episode, but we're counting it because why not?
And this is Alex Pomorski and
Brandon Bondi,
last sole survivors of this IWHI episode podcast, signing off.
I'm a survivor. I'm gonna make it. I'm not gonna stop. Keep on surviving.
Thanks, Zach. My brain can rest. My brain can turn off.
Good job.